It's Sunday. You're at your parents' for dinner, and conversation has dried up. I feel that this is the perfect time to crack open the timeline. In Timeline, there is a deck of cards, each depicting a moment in the history of the world. These same cards are double-sided, and on the other side there is the date or the debut of when that event actually happened. I'll make the apology now. My version is in French. Sorry. At the beginning of the game, everyone is dealt a set number of cards. Now these cards must be dealt this face up without the time or the date being revealed. And this number of cards will change depending on how many players are playing. If there are more players, each player has less cards. And if there are less people playing, do the math. As you can see from this example, I have been giving the card of Napoleon when he was crowned emperor, the violin when it was invented, the Battle of Hastings when that happened, when the tube of toothpaste was invented, and when the Great Fire of London started. Interesting cards. Then from the deck, the first card is taken, placed in the middle of the table, and then turned over to reveal when it happened or did. So in this case, the hot air balloon was in 1783. Now the game then starts with the youngest player. The youngest player then chooses one of their cards to place on the line of time thing. So for example, let's pretend I'm the youngest player because I'm the only player here in sorry about that. So starting with the youngest player will then choose one of their cards. For example, I will choose the Battle of Hastings, and I admit it to the timeline of chronology. Okay, I can either place it on the left, which means that I think this event happened before the hot air balloon was invented, or I can put it on the right, which means that it happened after the invention of the hot air balloon. So I'm going to stick it on the left because I'm English and everyone in England knows when the Battle of Hastings was, which was 1069. I was close. Then play passes to the left, as normal games go. And then that person places a card. So let's say this is the other person's hand, which is really my hand. But for example, let's say that the second player then says, I think the violin was invented somewhere here in between. And then the card is revealed. And if it's correct, it stays in place. And then the third player goes, or the first player if there's only two players. Or, anyway, let's say that they played the Great Fire of London, and they thought that the Great Fire of London was in between the Battle of Hastings and the invention of the violin. The card is revealed, and in this instance, it is wrong. Wrong. So what happens when a card is wrong? Well, it's removed from play, and then that player receives another card from the deck. So as you can see, placing your card correctly in the timeline means that it stays there, which is a good thing. But placing a card incorrectly means that it's removed and you gain another card. So obviously, what do you think the objective of this game is? Yes, that's right, to get rid of all your cards. So there you go, the first person to get rid of all their cards wins. But there is an exception to that rule. The exception to that rule is because there are multiple people playing, the game works in rounds. So when it comes back to the first player who started the game, that's one round. And there's a good chance that 2 or more people may finish and remove all their cards at the same time. At this event, everyone who has not eliminated their cards is eliminated from the game. With the players that finished at the same time, this is when it goes into a kind of sudden death elimination round, where each player then receives 1 card and they have to put it into the continuing timeline. Until one player finishes before the other. Now, before I go into a final review of this game, I just want to point out that this series of videos is going to be board games that everybody should ... and then I fill in the blanks, because I believe that almost every household has a copy of Monopoly, and I wish to resolve this. That's why I'm going to be doing this series of board game reviews and tell you that everybody should have this in their collection instead of Monopoly. So, without further more to do, let's find out what I think about Timeline. Okay, let's talk about the components. The game comes in a lovely sturdy tin and it is embossed. Embossed. The instructions come in a lovely 4-page book. They're easy to read and easy to understand. The cards are of very good quality and the artwork is simple, solid, beautiful. The game is for 2 to 8 players and scales well through all players. The gameplay is very simple, very puzzle-like, and a little bit of strategy as you choose which card to play next. Gameplay is between 10 and 20 minutes, and that depends on the size of the group. In every game that I've played, everyone has had so much fun that they wanted to play it again immediately. A drawback is if you're playing with a genius and they're good at one subject. That's why it's always good to have more than one expansion. That way there's a bit more chance of you winning as well. Another little niggle is the randomness of the cards. Sometimes you can be dealt a very easy hand which you can go, okay, bang, 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 winner. And sometimes you'll get cards which you haven't got the foggiest. And the last thing I'll say is if you do have a big group, make sure you have a big table. So, wrapping up for Timeline, I believe Timeline is a board game that everybody should play. Now, I don't believe that everyone should own this because the subject matter is a bit limited, and if everyone owns it, there's a good chance that they've got to memorise all the dates. So I reckon it's just a game that everyone should play because it is fun, simple and quick, and you can just carry it in your pocket and flop it out at any time, and that sounded a bit rude, didn't it? But it is a game that everyone should play. That is Timeline.
Thank you for putting up with the Tower of Dice videos. Today's video was brought to you by the letters T and coffee and the number 6. Sponsorship was provided by Asking the Wife for Money. And for more board games and reviews, go to GameBoardGeek.com, the #1 place for games and geeks.
Everybody should play the Timeline.